Trump campaign national spokesperson Katrina Pierson is in Dallas. Hi, Katrina. Good to see you.
Hi, great to be here. Thank you.
All right, looking ahead to tomorrow's trip to Capitol Hill and Donald Trump's meeting with Paul Ryan, it sounds like he doesn't feel like he needs Paul Ryan's support to win in November, given that he's won millions of popular votes. Is that the case?
Well, look, from the beginning, everyone counted Mr. Trump out and said that he wasn't going to last, and he did, and the same narrative continued. We're at the point now to where our only goal, number one, is to beat Hillary Clinton, and number two, to get Mr. Trump out there with his message to put Americans first. There are going to be people who don't come along with the Trump campaign simply because we do have very different policy differences, which is one of the reasons why the GOP has been fractured from the beginning. Mr. Trump is looking very forward to meeting with Speaker Ryan, and for the last few months, he's been having these meetings on the Hill because he is committed to party unity.
Katrina, you said that Paul Ryan is unfit to be Speaker of the House if he can't support Donald Trump. Do you still stand by that statement?
Well, absolutely. What I said was, as someone that has been on the front lines since the beginning of the Tea Party movement, having worked for conservative candidates, being promised time and time again that we were going to limit government, we were going to cut spending, and we were going to govern as conservatives, which, by the way, hasn't happened since 1989, just to be lied to and slapped down by the Republican establishment and the leadership. And that's why I said that. Mr. Trump, however, is committed to uniting the party, and he's going to meet with Speaker Ryan. Whether or not they agree, the one thing I'm sure we can all agree on is to agree to disagree when it comes to the policy differences, but unite together to fight Hillary Clinton in November.
Katrina, I want to ask you about a super PAC ad. It's a super PAC supporting Hillary Clinton. They released an ad targeting Donald Trump's past comments regarding women. I want to play a portion of that ad for you, then I want to get your reaction.
Sure.
She came to my wedding. She ate like a pig. And seriously, the wedding cake was like missing in action.
Does she have a good body? No.
Of course.
Does she have a fat ass? Absolutely.
Well, I just don't respect her as a journalist. I have no respect for her. I don't think she's very good. I think she's highly overrated. But when I came out, and you could see there was blood coming out of her eyes, blood coming out of her wherever.
Well, obviously, it's great outer beauty. I mean, we could say politically correct that the look doesn't matter, but the look obviously matters. Like you wouldn't have your job if you weren't beautiful.
All right, so obviously Trump can't unsay these things. It's bound to pop up over and over again as we head towards November. He has a problem with women. If you look at some of the most recent polls, you can see that's an area where he is challenged. How is he going to make a connection, the connection that he needs with women voters?
Well, I think most of those comments, and people would agree, came when Mr. Trump was working in the entertainment industry. But I'll also say that he does respond to attacks, and many people do respect this idea that when you are attacked, it's okay to respond. And by the way, just because you criticize a woman, particularly after she criticizes you, doesn't make you a sexist or a misogynist. And yes, he has high unfavorables right now at this point, but that does not translate into a no vote. And we've seen that time and time again. If we just look at the Republican Party nomination process, he started out with very high unfavorables among women. And as he took his message to the people, which is what we're going to do in the general, those numbers collapsed, and women have been voting for Donald Trump ever since.
Katrina, Donald Trump sent out a couple of tweets about crazy Bernie Sanders. Why does he think Senator Sanders is crazy?
Because this notion that you can have everything for free off the backs of rich people, I mean, it is kind of crazy. We have 19 going into $20 trillion in debt, which is unprecedented. We have a middle class that is vanishing. And even if we took all the money from the wealthiest in the world, you still couldn't pay for everyone to have free everything, including college. It's absurd.
So I'm wondering, though, over 40% of Bernie Sanders voters in West Virginia yesterday actually said they would vote for Trump in November. Isn't he sort of running dangerously close, though, to alienating some of those voters if he starts throwing out this language like crazy and other insults?
No, not at all, because at the end of the day, it is about policy. We saw this unfold in New Hampshire. I witnessed it personally when people were trying to decide on whether or not they wanted to vote for Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump. And I've been saying for a very long time that Bernie Sanders supporters have been contacting the campaign because they do want to support Mr. Trump and we're wanting more information on other policies that Mr. Trump held. When you are motivated by stopping political corruption, by stopping the ruling class, and by getting back to the basics and putting Americans first, that is a uniting message, even for Bernie Sanders supporters.
All right, Trump campaign national spokesperson Katrina Pierson. Hope we get to talk to you after this meeting on the Hill tomorrow. Maybe you'll even have your boss come on. Have your boss come on to CBSN.
Sounds good.
All right, Katrina, thank you.
Thank you.